Vanakkam, Namaste, and blessings to everyone. This is Dr. Bairavee Balasubramaniam PhD, the Sky Priestess. And this is your Leo Lunar Eclipse message. Now, for those of you who follow astrology, you know that this particular eclipse has been, building up for a while, whether it's in terms of our articles, our, conscious awareness of this event, or even in the events that we see moving through our lives and the lives of all those around us. Couple of reasons why. One, this is basically our blue moon, this is our super moon, this is our lunar eclipse, all happening at the same time. And the convergence of these three factors at once hasn't happened in 150 years. So it's a big deal. Now I am in New York and I have been enjoying myself, running around, doing the touristy bit when I can, recovering when I can, and sometimes your spirit needs to see something different before you get back into the swing of things. I am going to be doing some events real soon, and I'll talk about that towards the end of the video. So let's look at what the lunar eclipse basically teaches us. One, it's a Leo full moon. You're going to see drama. You're going to see a lot of drama projecting itself onto anybody who has any position of authority, of leadership, of power, or anything like that. All of that energy is going to be coming out and it is being directed at those who hold the space of the stage, which is all of us in different ways, because all of us have a certain space in our lives where we express who we truly are. Now, some people use the stage to hide themselves, some people use it to show themselves. Either way, there is always a stage that we perform to. Even when we are truly authentic, perhaps our only audience is God, but that's more of a philosophical question. Anyway, getting back to it, with this Leo eclipse, I see that astrologically speaking, things are very, very charged. The full moon is going to be conjunct Ceres, the mother nurturer. I call her the mother smotherer when she is in excess. Mars is going to be trine Ceres. We are also going to be seeing Mercury making that pivotal shift from Capricorn into Aquarius. We're going to be seeing so much more, actually. This is just a very, very, tip of the iceberg type description of the energy. For instance, we're also going to be seeing the node in Leo trining a body known as the Great Attractor. So I'm just going to cover some of these bodies and what they mean and the opportunities they give us so that you get a sense of what's going on. So number one, let's start with Leo itself. This is the time for us to actually be true to who we are and actually represent what we are. Things are usually a lot easier to manage when we do not actually hide our true natures or intentions. That being said, everyone has the right to a private life, myself included. But even as you navigate that boundary between the public and the private, stay authentic, stay true to what you actually are. Point number one. Point number two, this is a great time for you to be working with kids, creative projects. If you are in love, do something wonderful. If you want to celebrate your marriage vows, do that. If you just want to start something fresh and really express a part of your creativity in whatever way you see fit, do it. This is the time for you to be really just allowing yourself to release through your creative self-expression. And all of us have different ways of doing that. Some of you might paint, some of you might dance, some of you might draw, some of you might watch stuff that you liked as you were a child. Some of you might even, decide to cook. Whatever it is, do it. Now, as we are experiencing and expressing our childhood selves, this is actually a time where we're also going to need to navigate that borderline between vulnerability and authenticity. When we open our hearts to other people, sometimes they attack us. And this brings me to another aspect of this alignment, which is the Mars-Darius connection. Mars is going to be in Sagittarius, Darius in Leo, and they're going to make a direct trine during the time of the eclipse. For those of you who followed me long enough, Darius is what I call the bastard asteroid. This is a guy who doesn't understand consent, who wants things the way he wants them, and tends to represent the energy of the stalker or predator. Darius in Leo is basically kind of like sitting out and watching you and what you do and is waiting to jump from the shadows. which is not something to be afraid of because really we've had much harder aspects with their use over the past few months. But what we do need to take home is that this is the time where it is very likely for those who are seen as teachers, leaders, pioneers, people who move through, who keep moving through the world and do so in at least a semi-public way. This is the time where they are going to be getting all kinds of projections, all kinds of nasty shadow energy dynamics from others. And as those of you who've been following me on Facebook know, I've certainly had my fair share of it. I was thinking to myself, this is crazy. Why is all of this hitting me at once? And anyone in the energy field that I've spoken to at the very least is facing these same kind of strange shadow dynamics. So what do you do with this? So I tried the whole open-hearted processing thing, and whilst the vast majority of people came to my support, some people, of course, took the opportunity to tell me how they were my superiors and how they knew truly and deeply what was the greatest thing for me to do, which is bullshit. That is not a presumption that I would make for anyone. I mean, even those of you watching my videos, I don't know who you are as an essence, as a being. You don't know who I am as an essence, as a being. We're two adults having a conversation. And there is no way, shape, place, or form where I would basically go, well, look at me. I've done this. I've done that. I've gone here. I've been seen here. I've taught here. I know what I'm doing. No. If you see someone doing that, they are not qualified to be a teacher of any kind. So, but I do see that dynamic being hurled at me. And I see it being hurled at other teachers as well. So this is something that's also going to come out during the eclipse. It sucks, but it is also going to teach you and show you where your energy boundaries need to be stronger. Be true to yourself, and when you find someone trying to poke a thorn into your heart, please don't do the Piscean thing of, I don't deserve to be happy. My suffering is going to make me a better person. No. Take it out and shut the door. We have come way too far in our collective evolution to allow parasitic dynamics to be legitimized in some kind of rhetoric that says spiritualists have to die and suffer and be punching bags in order to be holy. Moving into the age of Aquarius, people. What I also do see, and what heals a dynamic like this, is actually very simple. I don't think that teachers heal the world. I think that teachers maybe help a person find healing in themselves by inspiring them in one way or another. Because knowledge is not what heals. It might give you a tool, it might give you a perspective. What really heals is love. A dog can be a better healer because that dog will be able to love you unconditionally. And that alone is itself its own immediate energetic catalyst. So if you want to support yourself, or anyone else who is going through these dynamics, love is your only real solution. And love looks different for different people. Some people, are cheerful. Some people are, more like me, going, okay, this is what needs to happen. But love, when it comes through from whatever source that it comes from, as long as it's pure, as long as it's aligned, this is what we need to heal from these kinds of assaults. Now, I use the word assault specifically because of Therius's nature. As he is in Leo right now, we may also find sexual wounds and sexual traumatization to come up as a key point of focus, whether it's in our political discourse, our philosophical explorations, our astrological musings, whatever work that we do in healing and finding the thought forms or paradigms that help us understand what healing looks like. The theme of violence, violence against your emotions, violence against your sexuality, violence against your heart and your sensual body. This is a key theme that's going to be focused on right now. And I find that it's a very sensitive topic. I am not a trauma counselor or psychologist, and I would suggest going to the people who specialize in that to try and learn the methodology to do that. But what I can say is that those wounds are going to be sensitized in all of us. And this is really the time for us to find a way to have those conversations and discussions where we can actually share stuff by being vulnerable without creating hand holding, pseudo parental dependency dynamics, and actually be adults in our truth, following our paths and journeys with our hearts open. Not too much to ask, but hard to, deliver and manage in large groups of people. What I also see, and I find to be something really, really important to mention during this eclipse, is of course the North Node trine the Great Attractor. And again, those of you know me know that I have Saturn on my Great Attractor, so I basically signed up to be global projection screen. Haha. But what happens there is that we are going to be individually be challenging ourselves to find a path of self-expression and leadership that actually aligns with a more fundamental sense of wisdom in the cosmos. Some of you will love it, some of you will hate it. There's nothing anyone can do about it. The core value or principle is to thyself be true. And remember that all the world is a stage. Now, for those of you doing deep healing work, whether it's on a stage or whether it's in a one-to-one, consultation with your clients, or even if you're just looking at a teacher or someone you follow online, remember to ask permission before you try to energetically interfere with them, and to never assume you know who or what they are. That is how we get to the essence of Leo. We go straight to the heart, minus the assumptions of the mind. Now, a lot of you have in your own lives, in your own healing practice, you are bound to have found individuals who kind of come at you with this amount of crap that you have no context for and no awareness of where it came from, because it's not even yours. You are not being bullied because of the law of attraction. You are not being bullied because you secretly feel you deserve it. You are being tested to know what is yours and what is not yours. How do you deal with individuals who do that? Sometimes calling them out on their BS works. And sometimes you just gotta go do this. Thank you for your input, but this doesn't resonate. Peace. There's a range of responses that are going to be coming up right now. Now, I know this isn't like my normal videos, and it's probably longer than my normal videos, but it's the Leo bloody eclipse. If I'm not going to go and do things the way I want to, I'm not following my own advice, which, well, I think I should probably do that a lot more. So for those of you who want more of this in a decent, reasonable, respectful way, you can come to my workshop in Queens, New York on February 3rd. I am just about finalizing a location in California for the 16th. And I am also got a confirmed location in Illinois for the 26th. You can find out more about the venues and workshops and whatnot through my Facebook. That's another Leo thing. Here I am. This is what I'm doing. But I would also like to say, last but not least, for those of you who are Hindus and who are celebrating the festival of Thaipusam, happy Thaipusam. This is a festival that honors the son of the seven sisters, arises from the Pleiades, and his particular festival is usually celebrated up on mountaintops, and peacocks tend to be a very powerful symbol during this festival. And that's happening right now. So all in all, great time to be alive. Keep your heart open. People will throw shit at you. Keep it open anyway, and learn how to use a baseball bat when necessary. For the shit, not the people. So I hope this helps. Just be real and be true. And if you're being a bit of a jackass, don't judge yourself, because everyone has been a jackass. Anyone who is in a healing profession right now has probably spent lifetimes being a jackass. There is no need to beat yourself up about it as long as you realize what you're doing and you correct it. So, take care. Ciao, ciao for now. God is blessed. Bye.